Okay, so we're working on You Can't Fail Me Now, Bonnie Raitt. Is that right? All right, so why don't you play a verse or two and we'll look at it and see what's going on.
I know that fan is moving here. I can see it in your hair, but I can't bear to breathe it in somehow. I'll rise and fall with you, but you can't fail me now. I'll rise and fall with you, 'cause you can't fail me now.
Okay, great. Yeah, that sounds really nice. What I'd like to do is add a little more of the drum set to it.
Okay.
And you know what I mean by that. So since you're the whole band, you have the kick and you have the snare and you have the other rhythm instruments in there. But the first thing I want to do is just make it a little more assertive. So, for instance, I slide over a second. So if I have this, notice sometimes I'm doubling the octaves down there.
Right.
It's really nice to start out small like this also, but you want to have your fingers set up so that if you want to go down and grab that, so let's just try that. First thing I want you to do is just put a little more power in the hands. So obviously you're going to sing a little louder if,
Right.
you know, but that'll also enable you to sing louder if you're a little bit, you know, shy about putting the voice out, then put more behind you and the whole thing will come out.
I know that fan is moving in. I can see it in your hair, but I can't bear to breathe it in somehow. I'll rise and fall with you, 'cause you can't fail me now.
Yeah, good. Okay, so one adjustment I'm going to do there is mostly what you're doing is you're playing the bass on the offbeat, right? And so when I asked you to double, you double them both on the offbeat.
Right.
So what you want to try doing is, let's do the kick drum and the snare drum. So notice I'm doing. So we'll see if we can separate them out a little bit.
Okay.
And again, this is not something that's going to happen automatically, but it's a work in progress.
I know that fan is moving in. I can see it in your hair, but I can't bear to breathe it in somehow. I'll rise and fall with you, 'cause you can't fail me.
Yeah. Now, one thing you notice if you're moving around with those octaves, suddenly when you have to move to another chord, since you're doing a lot more stuff, sometimes you get caught having to jump there. So that's you get to advance plan a little bit, so that. So if I'm going to go to here, I'm moving my fingers around so that I don't get caught like this. You know, which you can do, but it's a lot harder that way. Yeah, let's try that again.
I know that fan is moving in. I can see it in your hair, but I can't bear to breathe it in somehow.
Yeah, so you probably don't want to jump here all the way down to there, right? So that's another thing that when you're looking at it, you go, okay, I'm orchestrating here actually. If I'm going to play that high D, maybe I'm not going to jump all the way down, and so you know it's sort of a fluid process where you're moving around and like Spider-Man, you know, without the cable, so you're not jumping like crazy, but you're moving around like that. Yeah, good. Try it again.
I know that fan is moving in. I can
Yes, you know what you just did to get from the F sharp to the C sharp? You sort of moved around like that. That really worked.
Okay.
That made it like a smoother transition. Now let's try putting a little more power into the right hand.
Fan is moving in. I can see it in your head, but I can't bear to breathe it in somehow.
Yeah, so the chords aren't all in your hand yet, but that's fine. But what you're doing is it's bringing the whole thing to life. It's starting to like really support your voice, and when it supports your voice, then your voice starts to fly more.